to be the boss. Paid the cost to be the boss.
Now, I know this man a very long time. In fact, he used to be on the radio with me on Hot 937. We had a show called Urban Voices, which he was one of the original hosts of. I know he is a principal at probably one of the finest schools, not only in Hartford, but in all of the country. And I know you see him on TV. Hopefully you read his book like I have. But I'm proud to say he's a good friend. And if you don't be quiet and listen up and pay attention for anybody else, this is the man that you listen to, man. This is our keynote speaker. I want y'all to give it up. In fact, start putting your hands together right now as loud as you can. Y'all give it up for my good friend, Dr. Steve Pittman.
Give it up for G Money. One more time. Oh, I also need you to give it up for yourselves. Y'all been sitting here a long time trying to dance in your seats. I know. What I love about young people is that you can tell who's real or fake, no matter who they are, right? So when somebody comes up here, whether they're reading or talking, you know whether they have your best interest at heart. Doesn't matter what they say their role is, it's who they are to you. And it's not about what they say matters to them, it's what matters to you. It's all too easy to get up and just talk to you, but talking to you is not what you need. Everybody's talking to you. You've heard people talk to you all the time. You need somebody to listen to you. You need somebody to hear you and respect you and recognize you're meaningful people. That you have the same right to an education as everybody else. But the truth is, everybody ain't gonna make it. Let's keep it 100. Because just because you're here doesn't mean you're going where everybody else is going. For somebody to come into this room this afternoon and fall asleep in public, they're making their mind up. I ain't going. Y'all leave me behind. For somebody to have the opportunity to hear from people who care about them, to tell them how to do the things they need to do, people who actually are in charge of your life, and for you to fall asleep in their face, you are making it clear. Don't count me, I ain't coming. Leave me behind. But for the overwhelming rest of you, what I've seen is your focus. Whether you go to different high schools now, when all is said and done, you're just going to be Bridgeport. People ask you where you're from, you're going to say the port. They're going to ask you where you're from, and they're not going to care about your high school. They're going to just care where you came from. And you're going to represent yourself each and every day in all that you do. See, when people come up here and they say to you, oh, you can be anything, everybody can't be anything. You could be something, and that's what this is about. It's about you deciding what you're going to be. You see grown people walking around with kids' jobs. Some of you work with them. And they're telling you, man, you need to pay attention to your teachers. You need to pay attention in school. You think they're just talking. Because what could they possibly know? They falling short. More often than not, the people falling the shortest have the greatest story. Some of y'all go to church, they call it testimony. Those of you who have the most to lose have the most to gain. Those of you who come from those jacked up houses right now, you more than anybody needs to be paying attention. Those of you scraping together some money, get some new speakers so you don't look like a chump. Those of you who are trying to do what you got to do to make sure that you don't look like the poverty that you're living in right now, yeah, you really need to pay attention. See, you don't have a second chance. You don't have a rich uncle. Ain't nobody coming to save you. You don't get a chance to get caught up in the circumstances of politics and all the other grown people issues. You just got to find a way to carve out as much education as possible out of schools that you go to. I know like you, everybody in there don't care about you. I know. You do too. If I were to ask you, I'm not going to, because someone might be here today. If I were to ask you about the grown people who are not there for you, every single one of you could name them. But thank them. Thank them for pointing out to you that at the end of the day, it's not going to be your mother, it's not going to be your father, or the absence thereof. It's not going to be the fact that you do or don't live in a house. It's not going to be the fact that you are or are not in a shelter. It's going to be on you. When all is said and done, it's your little life that you're going to make the decision on. You're going to decide to say no to that boy who says, well, look, you won't get pregnant. That's on you. There's not going to be anybody else in your head but you. When somebody says, hey, we're going to go chill on the corner, we're going to go act up, you're going to decide whether or not you go. When somebody gives you homework and actually expects you to do it, it's going to be you who decides whether or not you even try. See, because let me explain to you what I know. The reason why we're going to open a high school here in Bridgeport from Hartford is because I know that you in Bridgeport deserve everything that everybody else does. Your kids are as beautiful and as intelligent as anybody else's on earth. And I'm sick and tired of seeing the excuses as to why you can't be taught. I'm sick and tired of people who should be defending you, defending other people who are not supporting you. You deserve better. Every single one of you, because you woke up this morning, because God kissed you on the forehead and said there's something special in you. If you can't find somebody to believe in you, if nobody in your house cares about you, if nobody in your community feels like you care, if you feel alone, then at the end of the day, it's you, man. It's you. It's you. When there's nobody else to say that you're beautiful, you got to believe it. When there's nobody else to say you're smart, you got to believe it. You have to believe it. It's got to be real. It's got to be as real as anything that you see. You deserve the best. You've been robbed of for too long. Those days are over. Make today the end of yesterday. Make it the beginning of tomorrow. Make it the time in which you decide that you're going to live your life like you're supposed to. No more excuses. No more excuses. All that foolishness, all the tough parts of your life, all those people did those things to you, they did them to you. You didn't earn that. What you earned was a chance. You're here today because somebody somewhere loves you. If you can't name them, then put your own name in there as the person who loves you. Thank you so much